The Jordan 3s are one of the most popular sneakers ever. It might be right up there with the Jordan 1s and the Jordan 4s historically. I know the Jordan 1s are declining in popularity, but historically, and I think in the future, when it goes through ebbs and flows like every sneaker does, it's gonna be right up there. And the first Jordan 3 of 2024 is nearly here, but it's not a regular Jordan 3. There's a little bit of a twist. Air Jordan 3 Craft Ivory. The shoe is dropping on February 3rd for $200. Originally, when the Jordan 3s first came out in 1988, came out for a price of $100. Convert that to 2024 money, that's around $250. And first impressions of the shoe, I think it's very easy to wear, very clean, but again, it's just slightly kind of boring. I think with OG colorways, if you look at it from a vacuum, you could say a lot of those are boring, but there's something about them being OG, it just gives it a bit more significance. But when it's not an OG colorway, even though it's super easy to wear, super clean, I just don't feel like it excites me. There's just a lot of other colorways I prefer over this one. But I think a lot of people would go for this shoe just simply of how easy it is to wear. And this is yet another shoe in the Craft series from Jordan Brand. They came out with a bunch of Craft shoes in 2023. I can't remember exactly when it started, but last year we definitely saw a lot of them. And this Craft series goes for that kind of deconstructed look. So a bunch of different materials on the shoe. I think in terms of like how much craftness there is to the Jordan shoe, it's more subdued than some other Craft shoes that we've seen before. Usually you'll see like a ton of suede and then nubuck mixed in there as well. Maybe some canvas, textiles. This shoe doesn't have as many materials. In the upper sole of this shoe, it is like an off-white base layer. And the base layer, it is leather. And the leather is nice. You can see the texture of the leather very clearly. It's that soft kind of leather that's not coated in like plastic feeling nonsense. However, on the mudguard as well as the tongue, the leather on those are slightly different. That's pretty standard for a Jordan 3. And without a doubt, the most distinct feature of the Jordan 3, it is the elephant print. And on this shoe, the elephant print is slightly changed up a little bit. So you see like another layer. That layer is suede. And then the elephant print, that is standard for a Jordan 3. This time it's just slightly different. Usually you'll see the elephant print in like black. However, this one, it's like that off-white creamy color. And I do feel like for Jordan 3s now, they're going with lighter elephant print or like thinner elephant print. That is obviously closer to the OGs. Back when this shoe first came out in the late 80s, the elephant print was thin. Gradually over time, for some reason, they made the elephant print really dark, really thin. I think they kind of pulled back on that a little bit. So this shoe, the elephant print is on the thinner side. And I like that. I just think it looks cleaner. And on the tongue, taking a more kind of unique approach, you see two Jumpman logos on the tongue. Not sure if I like that. Actually, I definitely don't like that. Feel like it's kind of gimmicky. It doesn't look that good. But one is actually like embroidered. So the gray or silver one, that's embroidered onto the tongue. The other one, that's just directly printed onto the tongue. So interesting choice there. And the eyelets of the shoe, it also comes in that ivory kind of almost yellow color. And the eye stays, usually where that's like leather or elephant print, they change it up also to suede. Actually, I feel like that suede might be synthetic. Hard to tell with such little amounts, but running my hands over that suede, definitely suede out there that I prefer over that, but such little amounts, nothing to complain about. And moving on to the booty of the shoe, obviously you get the Jordan 3 tab. What's kind of different about this tab though, first, is that it's semi-translucent, so you can see through it, and it's in this weird, I guess it's like yellow ivory color. Don't love that. It kind of looks like pee. It's just not very appealing in my opinion. And you also see the typical non-OG Jordan 3 Jumpman with the Air logo on the booty, but then also you can see through it, you see Nike branding. Obviously most people like the Nike Air branding on the booty. I think it kind of makes sense when they separate like Nike Air for the OGs and then the Jumpman for non-OGs. We recently saw this kind of idea on the booty of a Jordan 3 on the Jordan 3 Dornbeckers. I did actually like how that looked, but the Dornbeckers is just such a different shoe. I don't look at it from like an aesthetic or necessarily what I would wear. I just look at it from like a more storytelling perspective. So like on a general release, yeah, I'm undecided. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. It's still undecided. And the Jordan 3s comes with a polyurethane midsole with a visible Nike Air unit on the heel and a Nike Air unit on the forefoot. And the Jordan 3 was actually the first Jordan shoe to use a visible Nike Air unit. There you go. And the outsole is also like that semi-translucent outsole, similar color to the tab on the booty of the shoe. Yeah, not a huge fan. It's just a bit too dark, a bit too yellow for me. If they would just lighten that shade, I think it would have looked better, but Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that color, like on the outsole. And one thing to note here is they went with Jordan branding on this little cutout over here. For OG shoes, obviously that has Nike on it. I wonder why they didn't try and squeeze like Jordan and Nike on the outsole, similar to they did on the rest of the shoe. Now another place where they didn't try to squeeze both logos onto the shoe is the insole. So on the insole, you just get one white Jumpman. Now this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just these off-white laces out of the box. You would think, with double logos, double up on everything, you would think they give you one extra set of laces, but nope, just one. On the box of the shoe, pretty standard Jordan 3 box with the elephant print. Now one change they made, just like the shoe, they put two logos there. The Jumpman with the Nike Air, or Jumpman Air with the Nike logo. That's the only modification. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I'm a wide footer. I go true to size for Jordan 3s. They pretty much fit me perfectly. I think Jordan 3s are one of the most comfortable Jordan shoes, especially from 1 to 14. Just everything about it, the cushioning around the ankles, the padding inside, the cushioning in terms of the polyurethane midsole, as well as the Nike Air units on the heel and forefoot. Pretty ancient, but I don't mind that. It's slightly closer to the ground than like modern day shoes. So if you don't like that, you might not like the comfort of this shoe. It's got some weight to it, but none of those things are deal breakers for me. I just feel like when I put my feet in a Jordan 3, it just really feels good. Feels stable, snug, as close to the ground as I would like. Any closer, I just think it'll feel too stiff and boxy. But I feel like the Jordan 3s strike a good balance. The only shoes I think that I would take over those 3s in terms of comfort, number one is the Jordan 5s, and then the slightly later Jordans, like the 11s to the 14s. Those obviously have different tech specs in terms of the Phylon midsole and Zoom Air and then carbon fiber later on. But for an early Jordan shoe, this is a really comfortable shoe. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 3 Craft Ivory to 31 out of 40. Pretty good score compared to other general releases. Now in terms of the colorway, I said it before, I just don't find it too exciting. The little change up with the logos, not sure if I'm a big fan of it. I do like muted colors, but I don't know. There's something about it, it's nice to have. Like if it was on sale, I'd get this shoe, but not a must-have. In terms of the materials, I think the leather on the upper sole is very nice, very soft. I love the texture that comes through very clearly on the upper sole. Don't love the suede. Tech specs, even though it's ancient, but for a shoe that came out before 1990, I think it's pretty good, and I think it still holds up today. Now in terms of comfort, like I said before, Jordan 3s for my feet, I think they're one of the most comfortable ever. Not quite as good as some of the later Jordans, but especially their padding around the ankle collar, inside, everything works really well. For casual use, I definitely recommend a Jordan 3 in terms of comfort. Now in terms of the versatility, this is definitely where the shoe shines. This white or like off-white sneaker, you can't really get more versatile than that. And the muted accents, it's very easy to wear as well. Super subtle, doesn't stand out too much. It's very neutral, so you can wear it with so many different things. Some people might think this is more like a woman's colorway or a bit more feminine. Actually, I was surprised that this wasn't a woman's exclusive, but the way Jordan Brand kind of categorizes what's women's exclusive doesn't really make sense anymore. But yeah, I think this colorway is super versatile. The Jordan 3s are obviously one of the most easy to wear silhouettes ever. It's still popular in 2024 for a reason. I would say even more popular than the Jordan 1s currently. So objectively, even though I don't love the colorway, very, very, very versatile shoe. I appreciate when we get something different. I know people are getting kind of bored of Jordan Brand shoes now. The OG colorways will always be there, but this whole like double branding, double logo, just don't know if I'm a big fan. I think on the booty it's not as bad, but on the tongue, yeah, just not a huge fan. Just not a huge fan. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 3 Craft Ivory. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.